Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy AC. Welcome back to another story time. Yes, I cannot believe I'm making a story time so soon. Like, I always make story times, but they're like, they're like far apart from each other. But like, one day here I am, like after making the whole Mr. Destroyer, story time. I was sitting in my room just kind of chilling, listening to my favorite song, Baba Black Sheep.
Baba Black Sheep, have you any wool?
I started to remember this one other story time where I actually almost got kidnapped. Yes, don't ask me how that kid popped into my mind while listening to Baba Black Sheep. It's supposed to be a nursery rhyme, but yeah, without any further ado, let's get into it. This story starts off at, year 7, the time of like everyone's life where they're super confused about, like their emotions and, just trying to figure out everything. You're not even a teenager yet properly, but you're not also a kid anymore. Me being me, midway through grade 7, made some pretty close friends. One day, me and my boy, let's call him G. All right, me and my boy G, I was sitting in English class, and it was like a Friday afternoon, so he was just kind of like, I'm gonna be super bored this weekend, like, do you want to come over? I was just kind of like, yeah, you know what, like, sweet, whatever, like, I'll come over to your house, and I was like, wait, so, like, is it just gonna be like a sleepover? He's like, yeah, nah, bro, like, we're gonna have a sleepover, a couple of other friends gonna join. So I was like, hell yeah, man, like, let's do it. So yeah, Friday rolls around, and that day went really slow. Like, I just couldn't wait till I got out of class. It was finally 3 o'clock. I'm like, hell yeah. I had my clothes and everything packed, and so we went to his house, and first night kind of went okay. We're playing video games, and while we're playing games, I'm like, hey dude, like, when are we gonna like meet these people? He's like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, like, they're coming tomorrow, Saturday, so we're it's gonna be like a weekend with the boys. Friday night just kind of was like a chill night. We ate pizza or something, I don't know, and just kind of chilled out and played like Call of Duty, I'm pretty sure. We're chilling, we're having a great time, and then, Saturday rolls around, and I'm just like, okay, finally, yes. So these people come around, and, let's call these people K, L, and B. I kind of did know them a little bit, but, it was just kind of like a situation where like we knew each other, but we didn't really know each other. So anyway, we're just kind of hanging out, chatting, asking about how everyone's day was, like what's poppin'. Yeah, everything was going pretty chill. Around like 6 in the evening, we're all pretty bored, so we're just we're eating dinner or something at this time. It was like, yeah, around like 6:30, 7 o'clock, we're eating dinner, and my friends are like, well, what do you want to do like after dinner? So L and G came up with this brilliant idea to sneak out of his parents' house and go biking to like a whole new neighborhood that was getting built beside them. But like, I kind of knew a little bit about the neighborhood because like like my dad like used to pass it every time when he used to drop me to school, and I don't know, it just kind of looked a bit sketch because like there was like half finished houses and stuff. So like generally no one really thought it would be fun to hang out there. My friends were just like, yeah, like we should go there at nighttime, like sneak out and go there and just kind of hang out there with our bike. Honestly, I wasn't really keen with the idea of sneaking out because like, dude, I live with Indian parents, you know, like if I did that, like I would be like 10 feet under, bro. Like my soul would be stuck under the gravel, bro. Like all your white boys don't even understand the struggles of us brown kids, yo. Like out here in the brown streets with Indian parents, it's goddamn Squid Games 2.0 out here, man. Like you know that it's a second to last episode of the Squid Game where they have to like step on the right glass, you know, tempered glass to get across. It's basically like us out here, right? Like one wrong movement and we're freaking eliminated, yo. We want to be like your white kids, bro. Like parents being all chill, man. So then when they mentioned, you know, let's sneak out, I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea. He's like, oh, what, you're scared? No, it's just, I don't really think it's a good idea, you know, to sneak out of the middle of the night to like kind of, you know, just ride around a neighborhood. Kind of looks a little sketch. Because, you know, it hasn't really been built yet. So, you know what, I was just kind of like, yeah, no, I don't think that's a, you know, good idea. And, you know, we're talking about it the whole night, like how we're gonna sneak out, like what's our strategy, like what we're gonna do. And so my friend tells me that there is a camera like where the kitchen is, and we kind of needed to like sneak under that so like, you know, we wouldn't get caught. And so we're trying to strategize, you know, trying to go full on ninja mode on how to escape, you know, the house. Like this is some type of like, you know, granny, you know, the game Granny, where you kind of have to sneak out of the house because we thought you were cool, you know. And you know, I wasn't really, like, as I said, I wasn't stoked to the idea of sneaking out, but they're all just kind of like, it's whatever, dude. Like, they won't ever notice, like, they'll never know. We'll be back, like, you know, before they even know it. And I was just like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like, you know, it's not a good idea. But they're like, no, it's all good, bro. And they're like, so you coming or not? And I'm like, nah. The guy's like, I'm not really, like, sure about it now. But, like, maybe closer to, like, you know, when it's time to leave, I'll make my decision. And they're like, I thought, you know, you were one of the boys. And I'm like, bro, like, I am one of the boys, but, like, bro, like, sneaking out, man, like, come on. But anyway, yeah, so, you know, after dinner, we're just kind of sitting, chilling, talking, and eventually it's time to go to bed. So yeah, we wait, you know. Well, like, we have our listening ears on finally, you know, for something not good though, you know. And as soon as G's parents go to sleep, we're just like, okay, bro, like, time to go. So they asked me, they're like, are you in or you're out, bro? And I was like, fine, you know what, I'll come. And the night before, my dad's like warning me before I go to this guy's house on like Thursday night. He's like, yeah, if you're gonna go, like, don't do anything stupid, be sensible, you know. And clearly I ignored that advice. So the plan was that we're gonna like army crawl down from his bedroom to the kitchen and then out to the garage, which wasn't too far from his bedroom. So, you know, we set off on a little army journey. We managed to get past the camera without somehow being seen. It was such a bizarre situation because, like, my heart was literally racing. I was like, what? I'm actually doing this right now. And we go into the garage and, you know, my friend's like, okay, I'm just gonna, like, shut the door. And my man, G, slams this door so hard, the door even rattled afterwards. Like, you would assume, you know, like, you're sneaking out, at least try and be quiet. It was just such a loud noise, and it didn't help the fact that my friend's parents literally slept like a few feet away from the garage door, and my friend's just kind of crapping himself. He's like crap. They woke up, and, you know, his dad peeks his head into the garage, and we all just, like, before he even opens the door, we all just scatter and just kind of hide in, like, places. And he just kind of, like, opens the door and looks around, and there's literally, like, you know, that he can't see us, so he just kind of turns off the light, and he's like, okay, it's probably nothing. So he goes back to bed, and we're just like, oh my god, what the hell? You know, we're kind of in shock. We're like, how did we even manage to do that? Like, that's insane. So then, you know, we get on these bikes, we open the garage door, and we start riding. And, you know, for a while, because of, like, the adrenaline rush. We're all just kind of riding fast, we're just like, holy crap, we just executed like we just did this like Mission Impossible style, bro. This was like Mission Impossible like 2.0, and instead of Tom Cruise, it's just us 12, 13-year-old kids, and we felt so cool and brave, and we had this adrenaline rush going through our like ourselves, and we were just we're like flying through these streets, and finally we get to this neighborhood, and immediately, to be honest, I got sketched the hell out, because there was a lot of really, really illegal things happening. There was people selling things, if you know what I mean, and dealing things, if you know what I mean, and just kind of other people smoking, hanging out, and there was like people everywhere, and it was, and then so we go past this group of people, like we turn this corner and go past this group of people, and like they just stare at us, and they just kind of like, when we go past them, they're like, hey, stop. And stupid us stops, all of us just kind of stop, and he's like, give us your bikes. And we're just like, what? And he's like, yeah, hand over your bike. I'm pretty sure it's like some gang or something, I don't know, these guys, these Eshe guys, something, and he's like, hand over the bikes. And we're just kind of like, the guy that G and L who organized this, we're just kind of like, no. And so then they're just like, yo, what you just say? And we're just like, no. And he's like, mate, give us the bikes, all right? And then we're just kind of like, no, thank you. And then so they start chasing us, and we just kind of ride, like we're riding our bikes, and they're chasing behind us. This is like a whole like Doom 3 situation, except like these other people are just on feet running, and we have these bicycles, and like it was just really, like, it was really scary. It was insane for me, because like I was like second behind the four other guys in the front, and I'm just crapping my pants. I'm like, oh my god, no, oh my god. And yeah, like the fear in me just kind of set in. I'm like, dude, I shouldn't have done this. Like, holy crap, I regret this so hard right now. Like, oh my god, like you have no idea how scared I was in that situation, because it's like, mind this, it's literally 12:30 at night, so it's like midnight, and we literally just we haven't told anyone where we are. No one knows where we are. We kind of just snuck out. Our phones are like in our pockets, but we can't really use them because we're riding bike, and this is a secluded neighborhood that is some like pretty sketchy. And so we're riding these bikes, and these guys just wouldn't give up chasing us. And then we finally get into like this like other like secluded street where there was like houses, or like demo houses or something. And so we leave our bikes on the streets and just book it like at the back of like the house, like near the side gate of one of the houses. And so we're just kind of like peeking out, and these guys like rock up on the street, and they're like looking around, they're like swearing at us, and it's just not a really good situation. Everyone's just freaking out, we're just panting, and our hearts are racing. Like, it was insane. And these guys are like swearing at us, and then they finally take our bikes. And this is where like my friend's heart drops. He's like, what, we just got robbed, like the hell? And I'm like, yeah, bro, you think, when they were chasing after us, you would have assumed that they were actually going to take the bikes, And he's like, what am I going to tell my parents? Like, they're going to be so mad. I'm like, oh, bro, I told you this wasn't a good idea. And he's like, I didn't think it was going to be this serious, like, I didn't think we were going to get robbed. I'm like, bro, we're out in the middle of, like, literally nowhere, with just kind of our bikes at 12:30 at midnight. Like, what do you honestly expect, man? Like, seriously? and he's just like, I don't know, like, I don't know what to do now. Like, it's really insane. Like, I don't know what we're gonna do. And so we're hiding behind this thing, just kind of watching them, and they just take the bikes and they leave. So, and like, I'm just kind of like, even now I'm just kind of confused. I don't know why they wanted bikes that that were owned by like 13-year-olds. Like, it was just really, really insane. It's just kind of like, why would you want to rob 13-year-olds, man? Like, and for bikes, like, really? I mean, to be honest, like, they could have sold those bikes, but like, really though, like, robbing 13-year-olds? Anyway, we're just kind of freaking out inside. We're just like, dude, what the hell do we do? Like, how do we get out of here? And as we'll try to get our confidence, just kind of walk back, this random car just kind of pulls like into the street with its like headlights like bright as hell, and we all just scatter like different places, because we're at this point, we're just on the middle of the street, and this car just comes, and we just scatter in different places, and someone comes out of the car, and they're just kind of like, they're like, everyone I know where you are, get out of your hiding places right now, come out right now. And she's like yelling cuss words. She's like, come out right now, like, I have a weapon, and you should follow what I'm saying, because like, someone's gonna get hurt. And I am literally crying now. Like, I was so scared to the point where I'm actually crying, and I'm silently crying. And like, finally we just decide to like come out, because this lady's threatening us. And I think she found one of my friends. She's like, I've already found one of your friends, like like, come out, like, and I won't hurt you. And then we come out, and we're just kind of like, where everyone's just kind of shaking. They're all just wide-eyed. And G over here, right, the I think, yeah, G over here just tried to like play it cool, and just kind of pretend like nothing's happening, because he's still in like disbelief, even though after everything that just happened. And she's like, does anyone have any valuable? And we couldn't really see her face either. Like, I couldn't see her face. Pretty sure no one else could, because I think we could just see the silhouette. Like, I think she had like a mask on or something, and it was that just made it even more scarier, because we didn't know who this person was. And on top of that, I mean, even if he didn't have the mask on, like, we probably still wouldn't have known who she is, because it's a random person in a random car. And yeah, she's like, does anyone have any valuables? Like, do you have any phones on you or anything? And for a minute everyone's silent, and then stupid B decides to put my hand up, like if it was like an English class, and the teacher just asked me, put your hand up if your name starts with A. And yeah, stupid B just raises my hand up, like, ooh, me, stupidly. And she's like, give me your phone right now. And I was just like, oh. She's like, oh, give me your phone right now. Like, she's like, give me your phone right now. And I'm just like, I literally was actually about to pee myself. I just gave her the phone, and she's like, do you have anything else on you? And I was like, no. And she's just kind of like, are you sure? And I was like, I think. And she's like, what do you mean you think? It's either you do or you don't. And I'm like, I don't think so. And then she's like, no. I was like, no. And then she walks around to the other people. She's like, okay, everyone, be honest. Do you have anything in your pockets that is of any value? And at this point, like, 4 of my other friends are just freaking out. They just give they had the like wallets, and they had their phones, and they just give it to her. And G over here is still trying to play it cool. He's just kind of like, she's like, do you have anything, sir, of value? And he's like, I'm not going to give it to you. And she's like, I'm going to ask one more time, do you have anything in your wallet, in your pen? And he's just like, he's like, what if I do? What are you gonna do? And I'm just there like, bro, like, make the situation any worse than it is. Like, it's a complete stranger, man. Like, oh my god, like, the dread was real, bro. Like, it was the most scary. I know you guys are probably thinking it's probably, it's not that scary, or some of you are thinking it's fake, but honestly, it was real. And like, the fear that it brought me, I honestly, like, I'll never forget that for the rest of my life. I'll never forget that. And so this lady gets really, really aggressive and just slaps G to the point where it echoed when she slapped. Like, that's how hard she slapped. She just went slap. And we're all just like, oh, you need some milk? But we're just kind of like, everyone's just kind of in shock. And, we're just, and then, he starts crying and he's like, yeah, I got my phone, and he's like, I got my phone with me, and she's like, give me your phone right now. And she's like, do you have anything else? And he's like, yeah, I think I have my headphone. And then she's like, give me your headphones. And then when she's like completely satisfied, she's like, okay, everyone get in the car. And I'm like, what? And yeah, I was just kind of frozen when she's like, everyone get in the car right now. And we were just so paralyzed that we just, at that moment, like, we just didn't know what else to do. Like, we just kind of followed the lady's direction because she said, she had a weapon, and we didn't know what it was. Like, she never really showed us a weapon, but she's like, yeah, I have a weapon on me. And I'm just, I am literally shaking. I am actually crying throughout all of this. And I'm just like, dude, this is the end. Like, this is how I actually die. And holy crap. Like, I was just insanely scared. Like, I know I keep saying it, but I was actually genuinely pissing my pants, bro. And so we get into a car, and she started driving, and everything is just silent. And, and once again, G's bravery over here, stupid bravery, just kind of, energizes, and he's just kind of like, where are you taking us? And she's like, shut up. And then, immediately after that, he just kind of, his just demeanor just kind of dropped, and he's like, okay, probably shouldn't have said that. And, so we're pulling up to this, like, red light, right? Like, after a few minutes, we pull up to this, like, red light, and we're waiting for this, like, red light. And, at this point, I'm literally praying to God. I'm like, dude, please save me. Like, I don't want to die. Like, I was sweating. Like, I honestly was actually about to pass out from, like, my nervous breakdown. Like, I went absolutely insane. I wasn't responding. I was not moving, and you could just see it from my face that I am just completely just dumbstruck. I was just like, dude, I am never gonna see my family, my sisters ever again. And when, like, that realization just kind of was just like, okay, well, this is the end. Like, I didn't want it to end this way, but it was just and I was just super scared. All my other friends were just kind of freaking out, and and we're just all like looking at each other, just kind of like crying. And everyone's just in this tense moment. And you were just sitting in this red light, and she pulls off I'm pretty sure it was like a mask, and she pulls it off and turns around, and no joke, it was G's mom. And when I saw that face, my whole world just kind of lit up. I was like, oh my god. The relief that just kind of lifted off my shoulders. I was confused too, but like the relief off my shoulders just kind of lifted, and she was just so upset. And finally, we start driving again, and he's like, Mom? And she's like, yeah, it's me. What the hell were you guys doing out there? And he's like, how dare you scare us like this? Like, that's not fair. And she's like, you're telling me what is not fair? You literally sneaked out of the house in the middle of the night before telling no one where you're going, and went out to this sketchy neighborhood that wasn't even properly built yet. And you're telling me how unfair I am? Like, does that make any sense? And then G's like starts going off about how, you know, she made everyone so scared, and you know how like what would happen if like one of them passed out, and how like, you know, what would happen if they got hurt. And she's like, I should be asking you that question. What would have happened if this wasn't me and it was an actual person that was here to kidnap you? And he didn't really have much to say after that. He's like, yeah, well, you ruined the sleepover. She's like, oh, I ruined this sleepover? Really? And he's like, yeah. And she just kind of, he's like, yeah, you know what? You're the worst one ever. And she's like, wait till you get home. And I think, like, yeah, his parents were pretty strict too, so he kind of knew that, you know, things were about to get ugly, so he just kind of shut up after that. And you know, the rest of us were just kind of like in shock, but we're like somewhat relieved that, you know, we know this person, and, you know, she's taking us back home. And you know, meanwhile, her husband literally called all of our parents to just come pick us up at like 1 a.m. And immediately, you know, when she's like, yeah, your parents are already at the house, my jaw just kind of dropped. I was like, oh, dude, I was just kind of like, oh, SH word. And I didn't really say that, but I was just like, ah, crap. And I was just like, dude, my dad is gonna be so pissed. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm done, bro. Like, there's no coming back from this, man. Like, this is it. I thought I was gonna die from this kidnapping and whatever, but nah, bro, there's something worse coming for me. And, you know, like, I'm just dreading the whole ride home now. Like, the fear set in. I'm like, holy crap. Like, dude, my dad or my mom is gonna be so pissed. And I mean, if that was my son and I got a call saying that your son and a couple of his friends snuck out of the house at 12:30 p.m. and went to a secluded neighborhood that wasn't probably built, and you know, almost kind of got robbed. We didn't actually end up mentioning the fact that, you know, like, we got robbed, but I think they kind of found out after they saw the bikes that were missing. You know, just imagine that call, you know, your kid, you know, he snuck out of the house at 12:30 at night, and it's currently like, I don't know, around like 1:50, 2 o'clock in the morning. You have to come pick your kid up. It's not really a fun situation, you know, even for a parent, let alone a child, you know. So, anyway, you know, we're just generally scared, you know, because we're just like, oh, our parents, wow, okay, well, we're just going to be in so much trouble now. So eventually we get, you know, to back to G's house, and the parents were, sure enough, they were there, bro, like, and they looked pissed, bro, like, no joke, they were so angry. But yeah, anyway, I mean, to put it short, they were really angry. My dad was also there, and honestly, he didn't look very happy either, you know. Obviously, I wouldn't be too happy, you know, seeing my kid at 2 a.m. being told that he literally escaped the house and ran to an abandoned suburb, you know, in Brisbane. So, like, yeah, it's not I mean, it's not surprising, but yeah, long story short, I got into a lot of trouble when I got home, and yeah, I was grounded, you could say, yeah, for like a lifetime. Like, I couldn't go to anyone's house for like a while because, you know, parent issues. Couldn't trust Amish here because, you know, his mind decided to, you know, it'll be a good idea to go outside at 12 midnight with 4 of his other friends to hang out on an abandoned street, suburb. So yeah, anyway, yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna end the video here, guys. It's already pretty long, so yeah. Moral of the story, don't sneak out of the house at midnight. And if you are, at least tell someone where you're going, and try not to go into some abandoned suburb that's getting built, really not the ideal situation. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't do what I did. Bye.